So I've been thinking today about how humankind, how we progress, how did we learn the things that we know, and why do we do the things that we do? So I've been thinking, for example, about how we conceived of the idea of riding a horse. Why is it that we look at a horse and imagine riding it? Where did we get that idea? How did it rise up into our consciousness? And then, of course, we try and ride a horse and we find it very difficult. And then some guy thought of creating a saddle to make it easier. I just find it strange how we ever got the idea to ride a horse. I don't understand how any logical leap can be made to make you think you can ride a horse. I'm trying to think of other things that we do and we just assume is always there, but they don't actually make sense. So I'm thinking, for example, of water supply coming out taps and being pumped around the underground submarine pipes and then coming out of a tap in the sink. I don't get how we conceived of these things. That's the main thing that I struggle with, is how we ever got the idea to have a water system, for example, or electricity supply, or houses, for example. I don't understand how we ever thought up the idea of having houses, because every other animal uses trees or caves. The idea of constructing a house from scratch and making exactly as you want it, that idea, I find it strange how we ever imagined it would be possible. So I'm thinking that one thing leads to another. So there's maybe something that we thought of, and then that leads to the possibility of a house. So we would have constructed caves and used trees and whatever to start forming our houses. But then somehow we got the idea that we could make our house from scratch. And from a bare patch of ground, we could construct exactly what we wanted. And it's a logical leap that I don't understand how we got the idea it was possible. And then there's the electricity. I don't understand how we made a connection between the electricity and light. How did we know we could pump electricity around a town or a city or whatever and then make that electricity create light? I don't understand how any connection between the electricity and light was found. And I don't know how electricity was discovered either. So I need to look into that. So our understanding of energy is amazing. And there's all kinds of energy. And gas, for example. How did we ever realize that we could use gas to heat our homes and to cook our food? It's one thing leads to another, and I just don't understand how we make these leaps in understanding. And there's some guys who are geniuses who make these ideas happen, but it doesn't make sense to me. Another thing I'm thinking about are trains. I mean, who conceived of the idea of laying down railway track and then putting trains on these tracks? I don't understand how it could ever be conceived to create a railway system. And the same goes for cars as well. And as I said, riding a horse, I don't know where we thought we could ride horses. It just doesn't make sense. And there must have been some guy somewhere who thought of it, and then it just the idea spread from there.